So today we have audited less than 0.05% temperature excursions. We believe the future in decision-making in pharma will not only be risk and cost, but risk, cost, and CO2. Hi, my name is Richard Ettl. I'm the co-founder and CEO of SkyCell, based in Switzerland.
Hi, Richard. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Linda.
As the CEO of SkyCell, you have led the company through remarkable growth and innovation in the pharmaceutical cold chain sector. Can you share the story behind the name SkyCell and how it reflects the company's mission and technological achievements?
Thank you. So SkyCell is a combination of two words. Sky, which implies obviously our sky, but it also implies light. And cell, which is all the cells that make up our body. And so we want to bring medication to our body so that we are healthy and whole again, or if that we need to be healed. SkyCell is a technology company where we do three things. We design hardware, so that's containers. Software, where we monitor containers, but we also do risk analysis before something is shipped. And last but not least, service. So everything we do is done as a service, so it's designed to make it very easy for customers.
As the creator of a new cold chain container category, hybrid, what are the specific features that determine whether a container fits into the hybrid category?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because we had to define a new category because the categories that were available when we came to market were active, passive, and sort of advanced passive. And we did not fit into any of these categories because our containers were designed to recharge like an active, but without having to plug something in. But it was also designed that you don't have this manual interaction. And so we wanted to have the best of both worlds. That was sort of the vision. And that's why we had to design it. And that's why we call it a hybrid container.
What should the airlines and freight forwarders know about working with the hybrid containers compared to active and passive?
That's a great question. So I think it's three things. One is we looked at what were the issues that pharma companies and their suppliers, the freight forwarders and airlines were experiencing. And so we noticed that it's these interruptions at airports. This is also where, according to IATA, most of the temperature excursions happen. This is partly due to human error, so people making mistakes or miscommunication, or it can be also hardware errors. And so we wanted to design a supply chain that's closed. So for us, point number one is being able to go door to door. So we designed equipment containers that are loaded at the pharma company's production site or warehouse, and it's unloaded at the consignee or distributor in a country. So for us, this is a clear feature. We can also go airport to airport, but it's really designed to eliminate all these unnecessary risks at loading and unloading at the airport. The second feature is what I mentioned earlier, is the recharge capability. Things can always go wrong in logistics because something can always go wrong.
Yeah.
And connecting flight missed, or maybe there's an ash cloud all of a sudden in the air, so you're delayed for a couple of days or even weeks, or you're long in customs clearance. So we wanted to design equipment that can be recharged. And the best way to recharge equipment in an ideal world is if you don't have to plug it in at all. So we designed equipment that's recharged by cold air, by physically only putting the container into a cold room or cold truck. That's sufficient. As long as it's in 2 to 8, it's recharging. So this is really what took us a long time to develop. And that's one of the key features that we have. And a third piece is you need to know where equipment is. So in 2013, we rent this equipment out, but how can we make sure that people are using it the right way? How can we help them in case there's something wrong? And so in 2013, we integrated IoT sensors into the containers. And so from that point on, we knew about every single shipment, where things are. We were able to, because of the lane risk software that we developed, and the software that monitors these steps, we were able to tell this shipment is in good condition, it's hitting the milestones. Oh, no, this one's not hitting a milestone. This is what we have to do. This is how we correct it. This is the information we need to give now to the freight forwarder or to the airline or to the pharma company to correct it. And this has delivered our outstanding performance. So today we have audited less than 0.05% temperature excursions. 0.05%.
0.05%, okay?
So it used to be less than 0.1%, and now it's less than 0.05%. So we're double as good as we were over the past 10 years.
How do you achieve 0.05%?
Well, it's the combination of the hardware that's designed that it can recharge, but it also has this extremely long runtime. So our 1500X, for example, runs for more than 270 hours. Our 1500DF to transport minus 80 degrees Celsius products can even run 300 hours if customers load it in a specific way. So that's already the extremely long runtime, but also the recharge capability. And on top, sensors with software where we monitor and know where things are.
Your technology.
So it's the technology, but it's also giving people the right information that they can correct things if they're wrong.
Fantastic. So innovation is one of SkyCell's core values. How would you say you are demonstrating this value today?
So innovation is on the one hand side a skill set, but it's also a mindset. And we are incredibly fortunate to be able to combine very young university students that just left university with very experienced people from industry. And I think it's that mix of young and experience and also from different parts of the world that can solve problems that were not being able to solve the right way before through technology that was not available before. So it also requires you to think ahead what's going to come next. To give an example, 4 years ago, we were thinking, what should be our next generation of data loggers? So 4 years ago, we decided we believe the next generation will be on LoRa. So LoRa is a long-range protocol, very low energy, but it was not widely available at the time. But we strategically said, we're going to make the bet that this works. And so we've invested 4 years onto this LoRa technology, and it really started to work out. Now, on the container side, a couple of years ago also, we knew certain materials were in development that could potentially change significantly and improve the performance of our containers. So, for example, graphite was not widely available at a low cost at the time, but my co-founder and CTO, Nico Rose, was convinced that we would be able to bring it down to a cost level where it would not only be used on satellites. It was that expensive that it had very few applications. By continuously working on it, we were able to integrate it in the container, and it expanded the runtime of the container from 180 hours to 270 hours. A couple of other features were important to achieve that, but that's one of the key features. So what does it do? It distributes the energy around the container better. So when you have the heat impacting the container here, let's say from the sun, we can draw the energy also from the side that's in the shade.
Okay.
That difference alone is 20% runtime.
Oh.
Being able to tap into the energy on the other side of the container. And this would not have been possible by not looking ahead what will be the next kind of technology that could come to market that we could integrate into the containers.
SkyCell continues to expand and hire more talent. Could you tell me how the company culture supports and drives this growth?
So company culture really defines the way a company operates. It's sort of also the guide rails for employees and everyone in the organization. What do I do if something is not defined? Will I be the entrepreneur that picks up the phone and fixes the problem? Or will I just hope and wait that somebody else does it? This defines clearly a company. In the pharma industry where we're operating in, quality is king. So because it can impact people's lives. So this is, for example, what really differentiates us in SkyCell is this combination of innovative thinking, but also always the quality and patient at the forefront, and leveraging technology to make that easier for us and for the customer.
What is the most important lesson you've learned since founding SkyCell?
I think the number one point is focus. Our technology has so many applications, but it is a very conscious decision that we only do what we do. So today we only do containers. We could do smaller parcels, we don't do that. We could do even larger, but there's a very specific reasons why we do what we do, because we believe that this serves the most important need in the pharma industry. it is combining also certain elements. It's combining the hardware, the software as a service. But that's already a lot of things. So we need to be really focused on delivering that for our pharma customers. Because if we do well, they will do well. Everyone is happy also in the organization.
I think it's a really important message to everybody. Thank you for sharing. Lastly, I'd like to know more about your vision for the future. So how do you see SkyCell evolving in the next 5 years? And what are your primary goals for the company within the APAC region?
So we're very fortunate that the pharma industry is growing quickly from 2.5 billion spent to 5.5 billion US dollars spent on cold chain packaging. This is on the one hand side related to new products coming to market. We will see an incredible amount of new products coming to market that will cure cancer, new vaccines that will prevent diseases, but also, for example, weight loss drugs that will help us live longer. So I think we're very fortunate that we can transport these products in the future. At the same time, we will also see sustainability becoming more important, becoming a key decision criteria in the future. So a shift away from throwaway packaging to reusable packaging. So I think all of these is very supportive, and so it's up to us to implement the right strategies around the world. Now, Asia for most pharma companies is one of the most important regions, but also Asia is developing very well in developing and manufacturing products that also go beyond Asia to the rest of the world. So we're very committed also to supporting those pharma companies ship their products from this part of the world to the rest. So we want to bring the best products to Asia, but also the best products from Asia to the world. So I think that's our commitment. That requires local people. They understand the local languages, they understand the local needs. We have regional teams that support sort of the network needs, the operational needs. And then we have sort of software that sort of brings it all together, that everyone shares the same information. So there's one truth. So when we support customers shipping something from here to the rest of the world, that we can do it without failure.
Richard, it has been a real pleasure speaking with you today. It was truly inspiring to hear about your journey with SkyCell.
Thank you very much, Linda, for having me, also for letting us explain sort of our vision, where we come from, our technology, and our ambitions here also to support the Asian market.
I am really looking forward to the next chapter of SkyCell's story. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Linda.